Howdy, guys. Welcome to Cliff Notes and welcome to a recap of the Challenge Double Agents episode 13. Can you believe we're at episode 13? We're getting close to the finale. I mean, look at the background here. We've got so many contestants who have already left. Quite a few contestants are already with their gold skulls as well. In fact, we only have a few contestants that don't have their gold skulls yet and are still in the house. So we're getting right down to the end, and I'm very excited about that. But before we get there, we got to talk about what happened this evening, an action-packed episode that we'll get into. And as we do that, let's first of all talk real quickly what happened last week. Man, what a bloodbath amongst the male contestants. We lost Devin, we lost Josh, and we lost Nam. All three. Nam went home for injuries. Josh and Devin were eliminated in the double elimination. But on the positive side, we had CT and Darrell both get their gold skulls. So congratulations to those two guys. I'm happy. I'm happy to see both of them in the final. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we saw that. Who would have thought with Lolo dropping out of the game that we would have so many dominoes fall, leading to the double elimination and leading to a whole lot of partner swaps, which stirred things up a little bit. I was happy to see it. Stirred things up a little bit. And we're going to see how that affects the end game over these next few weeks. But before we talk, well, at the end of last week's episode, we saw everyone locked in as their duos, locked into their individual cells, getting ready for the next competition, and a promise that this was going to be the craziest, wildest, most torturous competition of the season. And it was very interesting. It was quite the lot of puzzles, a lot of tasks involved in this competition. So again, every team is locked together, literally locked together in a jail cell, but also with chains locking them together and locking them near a table. So the first task they have to do, hold a big old heavy ball, medicine ball looking thing. It's heavy. I think they have to hold it for about an hour or so. But it's interesting because you're starting to see some people who are really focused on winning this thing and others who just don't seem to give a damn. Fessy in particular. Fessy has an interesting point though. Fessy is talking about he doesn't want to win this competition because if he does, then that means no one can steal himself or Anissa from each other once they win the eviction competition or elimination competition. And that's the last thing Fessy wants. Fessy is hoping that whoever survives elimination, gets a gold skull, takes, we're assuming it's going to be a woman's competition. So Fessy's hoping whichever woman wins takes Fessy away from Anissa. So Fessy's got a very strong reason for not wanting to win this game, but he doesn't want Anissa to win. So he's kind of half-assed trying without really trying. Now, I'm not sure why he cares so much. I think he's made it pretty obvious that he doesn't necessarily want her as his partner in the finale. She understands that. But Fessy's trying to cover as best he can. And so he's kind of not trying too hard, but acting like he is. But I think Anissa notices as well. But anyway, so first step, they've got to hold this ball for about an hour. After that, they move on to the next stage. Once they've held it, they have an eating competition. They have to eat fermented shark, ram testicles. They have to drink Arctic cheese juice. Cheese and juice, never the two should meet. That sounds horrible to me. That sounds worse than the testicles and the shark, I do believe. I think I'll just stick with the slop from Big Brother. Thank you very much. But we see a lot of eating going on, but we see a whole lot more vomiting going on and spitting out as much as anything else. Fessy, again, he's not really trying. So every time he takes a bite, he's immediately spitting it out. Now, Fessy ate fake ham on Big Brother, so I know he can handle some disgusting stuff, but Fessy's doing that, and he's not the only one. There's so much vomiting going on. It's just horrible. Lots of it. But we do have that. But eventually, with all the eating going on, we do see a couple of people advance. Now, it's interesting. Nany is one of three women who does not have a gold skull yet that is still in the house. It's Nany and Gabby and Big T. Now, Big T, unfortunately, is the rogue agent for this week, so she's not even competing in this competition. She doesn't have a chance to compete in the elimination arena. So we've got two women's elimination, we think, and we have two women, Nany and Gabby, both needing a gold skull. So Nany really wants this gold skull. She wants to get that into that arena, and yet she's not even eating. She's not even trying to win this thing. It doesn't appear. I guess she's just counting on her friends to get her into the elimination, regardless of how she does. That seems very dangerous to me, but she's made that decision because she's not doing much to win this thing out. But who is? Well, we got a few of them, and the people that are in first that finish the eating competition first are Leroy and Casey. Man, they're such a strong team. So Leroy and Casey finish up the eating competition first. So they move on to the next stage of this competition, which involves solving a math equation that's etched into the bottom of a wooden box. Now, Leroy and Casey quickly show that they are not mathematicians. Stephen Hawking, they are not. They are having major issues with it. But they're not the only ones that aren't mathematicians and don't have a clue about how this works. Let me throw the challenge producers in there as well. Those guys are just as bad at math, apparently, as a lot of our contestants in this season, because they get the math problem wrong. And just sticks in my craw. Get on my little soapbox talking about math. The rule, let's talk about the equation. The equation is 319 times 6 plus 706 divided by 2. The rules of math say that you have to solve the multiplication and division first, left to right. Then you solve addition and subtraction left to right after you've solved all the multiplications and divisions. Heck, there's even a little acronym. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, PEDMAS, to help you remember which way you do it. They don't do it right. Oh, it made me so mad. 319 times 6 equals 1,914. 706 divided by 2 equals 353. So then the equation is 1,914 plus 353 equals 2,267. That's it. That's the answer. That is the correct answer. Casey and Leroy, they don't get it right. They ask Cam for help. Cam is Leroy's romantic partner, and she helps them solve the problem. But they all get it wrong. They just solve it left to right without any regard for multiplication, division, before addition, and subtraction. They come up with the wrong answer, but TJ says, that's good. Y'all are good. Move on to the next round. No, they're wrong. They're wrong. Do better challenge. Teach people the correct way to do math. I know most people don't care at all. It still irritates me. Math isn't optional the way you solve it. There's rules to do it. You got to follow the rules challenge. Do better next time. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Let's move on. So Cam does help Leroy and Casey solve the problem, so they get done first. Once they've solved that math problem, the code, the final number they end up with is a code that opens up a lockbox. They grab two little tiny picks, little hammer picks out of it that they use to break open a bunch of cinder blocks, and one of them has a key into it. So they break open the key. And we see, again, Cam helped them solve it. We later see Fessy helping Gabby and Corey solve the equation as well. Again, Fessy's got a little thing for Gabby. He'd love to see Gabby advance further and steal him as a partner or make him a whole different kind of partner as well, I do believe. So he's helping. He doesn't want to win, but he wants Gabby to win. So he helps her with the problem as well. But eventually, we see a few people again get it. Still Leroy and Casey first. They finally get the key. That allows them to unlock themselves from the table. With that, they can then move over to a chalkboard, and they've got some chisels. They have to scrape off the cover of the chalkboard for the next clue, which says dig below. So they start digging, and they discover tiny little nail files, which they then use to cut the cables on their cage and allows them to escape from the competitions itself. And so with all that being said, and they're not the only ones that are competing, but they're very few. Most people just don't seem to care that much about this competition. But the winner, the first people to escape from the cell, even though they got the math problem wrong and weren't called out for it, is Leroy and Casey. So congratulations. They are such a power couple, power duo in terms of playing this game. So happy to see them win the competition, control the power for this week. So they have won, and they're all excited about it. Now, TJ, he starts calling out a bunch of players saying, y'all didn't even try to compete, that y'all didn't do anything, that y'all played it safe. That's not what the spirit of the game is about. It makes me think next season, make a little change. How about saying that the team that comes in last place in competitions like this, make some kind of punishment against them. Maybe the two teams that are both in last place have to compete against each other, and someone loses a gold skull, or someone isn't eligible to compete for a gold skull. There's got to be some things they can do to make it not just about winning, but also making sure that you don't lose, because there are a lot of people that just didn't give a damn this week. So we do have that. But now it's interesting because Leroy and KC both already have their gold skull. So they certainly are not going to volunteer to go into the elimination arena. But they're sure holding a lot of power right now. And now, again, we think it's women. We think that we know the two women who need the gold skulls. But, you could gum up the process a lot. Leroy and KC, if they wanted to, they're part of the Big Brother Alliance and all of that and such. And maybe they could have thrown in someone from the other side and maybe put two people who already have gold skulls against each other and get rid of one of those gold. There's a lot of things they could do, probably create a lot of enemies. I'm not saying it was necessarily that would be the best idea, but you always want to see chaos in the house, right? But we do see we see them debating who they're going to throw in the house. And we also see Fessy and Gabby flirting. Again, I think we're seeing a little something possibly develop. We'll see. Gabby doesn't have her gold skull yet, so it better happen fast if it's going to happen. But we also see Cam saying that she's going to help Nany get her gold skull, probably against Gabby, but again, who's to know for sure? But we do see that at this point, the House deliberations, Nany is pointing out what I just said, that there's only 3 women who don't have gold skulls, and Big T being one of them and can't compete. It seems like it's a natural for the two of them to go against each other for the final skull. And it seems like a reasonable request. But then the question comes up, we'll throw a little wrench in the equation. Someone asked the question of, look, if either of you win, are y'all going to change partners? Are y'all going to leave it alone? They're smart. Gabby and Nany both say, I don't know. We'll just see. You can't answer that question. There's people who want to change partners. There's people who don't want to change partners. Why make anyone mad by saying you're going to do one thing or the other? They leave it open-ended. Perfect answer of no answer whatsoever. But the question came up and does have people thinking about that. We've got Fessy figuring that he doesn't care. He thinks that he's happy to vote either one in. He figures that Nany or Gabby, either one would steal Fessy away from Aneesa if they get the gold skull. And he may be right. Fessy figures everyone wants him as a partner, which could be. Fessy's a strong competitor. I don't think most people would be too upset if he was with them, but he hadn't won this thing yet, so slow the horses a little bit. But he figures either one of them would take him if they get the chance, which he's fine with. But we do have the House voting, and it appears by a huge majority that the winner, I guess you call it the winner, the team going into the elimination arena this week is going to be Gabby and Corey. No huge surprise there. We expect that. And so Gabby and Corey both need gold skulls. So even if there was some weird flip and it went to men's elimination, which no one expects that, but either way, they're happy to be going into the arena this week. But Aneesa, she is upset that she might lose Fessy. She is very upset. But that's the game. You can't blame Fessy. If you have a gold skull, you're going to the final. Aneesa is upset that Fessy wants to have someone else take him because he would think that's an upgrade. Well, Aneesa's upset because she thinks that she's going to lose Fessy and get a lesser partner. They're both thinking about their own game. So Aneesa can't fault Fessy for doing what he thinks is best for his game any more than Fessy could fault Aneesa for grabbing him as her partner when she had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago. It's just part of the game, guys. But she's got a gold skull. She's going to the final. So Aneesa, it's your time to shine. It's your time to prove that you deserve to be there regardless of who your partner is. And here's the thing. We don't even know yet if the finals are going to be run as duos. For all we know, once we get our 10 finalists, 5 men and 5 women, it's going to be a free-for-all, and whoever wants it wins it, and you're not working as teammates at all. We don't know yet. We're going to find out soon. So who's going up against Gabby, who's been voted in by the House? Well, that comes down to Leroy and KC. And not a huge surprise. Sure enough, it's Nany going in. And yes, it is a woman's elimination, so it's going to be Nany versus Gabby. And we see that this is they call it a ring of spies. And it's a cool competition. Basically, big old open circular arena, one ring hanging down from the very center of the arena. They blow a horn. Both competitors run. Whoever grabs that ring manages to get away from the other person. Puts it on their pole, wins the round. The first person to win 2 out of 3 wins the competition. That's a little tough. Now, I don't know what the heights are, but Nani is definitely taller than Gabby. And as a first step, it involves jumping up and grabbing this ring. Nani definitely has an advantage over Gabby in that aspect of it. So, and really, you expect Nani to win this thing, right? But that's surprise, surprise. Gabby actually jumps and gets a hold of that first ring, and she fights her way to the first point. I got to say, I probably underestimated Gabby a little bit. She showed a lot of fight. It's not the first time she's done it either, but in this competition, she showed a lot of fight, especially on that first round. She gets her point, but Nani is not giving up. Nani is the first one to grab the next ring, and they go at it again. It's not easy, but Nani eventually gets her ring to her pole. She gets the second point. So now we're on to the final ring. This is for all the marbles and a gold skull. Whoever gets this ring wins it. This one didn't close. Unfortunately, it looks like maybe Gabby misjumped a little bit, mistimed it. Nani grabs the ring first, and then she basically just outmaneuvers Gabby. There wasn't even a lot of contact on this one. She runs around her, gets it to her ring, and so she wins. So Nani has finally gotten her gold skull for the season. Gabby is going home, and again, props to Gabby. I have a feeling we're going to see her again. She had some social games. She had an almost showmance with Fessy, it appears, and she fought hard. So props to Gabby. I apologize for underestimating you early in the season, Gabby, but you showed that you had something. You showed spirit that you were willing to play the game. So congratulations to you. Hope to see you back Sunday. So there you go. Gabby's gone. Nani has that gold skull. But now what? What does Nani do? Does she stick with Kyle as her partner? Or does she steal another partner, such as Fessy? Yeah, Fessy's ready for that. He said that's going to happen. Is Fessy the fortune teller? Or is he a little too arrogant for his own britches? Well, not a huge surprise. We do see Nani say, yeah, Fessy, come on over. We're partners. Nani's happy. Fessy's happy. Nani wasn't happy with Kyle already. She really was upset that she'd lost Josh as her partner. She didn't want Kyle as her new partner. So she's more than happy to grab Fessy. Kyle gets left out. He's not happy at all. But hey, it's the way the game goes, Kyle. So so we have that. But here's the thing. So now we have Fessy and Anissa. Fessy has been taken from Anissa, which leaves Anissa without a partner. So who is Anissa going to choose? Well, she's got Corey and she's got Kyle as her choices for her new partner. Remember, Corey was a rogue agent. Kyle has just gotten his, am I saying that right? And Kyle has just had his partner Nani taken away from him or chosen to move away. So Anissa has a choice. And who does she pick? Oh, she picks Kyle. She picks Kyle, and TJ is laughing. Kyle is disappointed. Kyle was going on and on. He did not want Anissa as a partner. And here it comes. Karma is a bitch, my friend. Kyle, I hope they do. I hope Anissa proves herself out because a lot of people have underestimated her. I'd love to see her dominate in the finals and make a run for it, make a game of it. But Kyle's not happy. TJ's laughing. Everyone else is laughing a little bit as well. But I think that's a fantastic move from Anissa. Corey doesn't have a skull yet, which means that next week, Corey's going to be fighting for that gold skull. Corey is going to want to go into the elimination arena to fight for that skull. And just in case TJ wants to gum the stuff up or whatever, and suddenly surprise everyone by calling it a women's elimination, Anissa could be in trouble. So I think it's better for Anissa to take Kyle, who already has a gold skull. Neither one of them want to go back into the elimination arena. So Anissa has made that decision. I support. I think it's a good move. So now that leaves Corey and Big T as the final two that don't have partners. So now Corey and Big T are partners going forward. And I think Big T makes a mention about how many partners Corey's left. Corey has lost a lot of partners. I hope Big T isn't the next one. Big T needs her skull. Now, the problem is next week is maybe a men's elimination. If it is, then that means that Big T may be running out of time. There may not be another opportunity. There may not be another women's elimination before it comes down to the finals. And if so, Big T is out of luck. I hope that's not the case. I hope she gets one final chance, but we'll find out. We're getting very near the end of it. So there you have it, guys. Episode 13, action-packed. We started off with the competition right off the bat. Great elimination. Props to Nani for getting her gold skull. Hate to see Gabby going, but we'll see her back again next season, I'm sure, or some season on down the road. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 14. We're right there at the end of it. Guys, you have a great one. See you next week. Cheers, my friends. Bye.